Good morning, good morning, good morning, good people. Just cleaning up some drips and drops. Good morning. Today is Monday, November 10th, 2025. It's about 6 o'clock in the morning here in southwestern Nevada, where we are west of Sin City, east of Death Valley, south of Area 51. Hard scrabble, spooky territory. No, not spooky, hard scrabble. Hard scrabble, a lot of sharp elbowed, pistol packing, rootin' tootin' people here that they got theirs, nobody helped them. And if you don't have anything, you don't belong here. This is not the place for you. We are not Christians here. We do not help those who need help because nobody helped us. We did it. You're just lazy. You've got problems, and we don't want you here. Okay, so fertile ground to understand human nature and how to try to help those who need help the most. Because if you need help, and there's all kinds of agencies out there, all kinds of places that can give you help, you're not really interested in maybe permanent change. You're just interested in, I need food now, I need clothing, I need shelter, I need whatever. So it's hard to get the attention of people who have a lot of choices. But when you don't have many choices, or your choice is do that or go to jail because we've criminalized homelessness, if that's your choice, then not good. So, or no, it is good. It is good. Sorry, I was thinking of 2 steps down the road. If your choice is jail or this, all of a sudden this becomes more appealing. But when you have a lot of choices and you can figure, well, I'm going to choose this one because it seems right now. It's convenient for me. And if it doesn't work, I've got that choice. I've got that choice. I've got this choice. So fertile ground here for people who want to help change the lives of those who need it the most. From the perspective of the book, what? The Tractatus. What? Okay, just playing around with some names. Okay, so today is day 1 of week 2. Or for people up here, this is week 2, day 1. Week 2, day 1, inside my skull-sized kingdom. Last week, and we're going to talk about that for most of the thing, last week was week 1, and that was our overview and orientation. So with the overview and orientation in mind, week 2 builds upon that, but it also really now gets us going. Now we're into the guts of it. Now we're into the neuroscience part. So we'll talk more about that a little bit later. Let's go to our worksheet and see what advice we can get from an 80-year-old. Show respect for everyone who works for a living, regardless of how trivial their job. So what is that? What's the plain meaning of that? If someone has a job, show them respect because they have a job. It doesn't matter how lowly it is. They've got a job. Show respect. Say total respect? No. Does it say minimal respect? No. Show respect. At least they have a job. At least they're out there doing things, getting paid part of what they're worth. Okay, good. So that's number one. Seth Godin, good at pivoting. Seth Siders, Al Capone's accountant, wrote a book about the pivot man. This is a key function in industrial organizations, bureaucracies, and any organization with more than 30 people. If someone, often not a man, with a boss and with employees. Oh, it's someone. It's someone, often not a man, with a boss and with employees. Okay, could be like a manager. In our modern world, this person goes to meetings. That's their job. The company can afford to pay them well and give them resources to help keep things in sync. Pivot people rarely make decisions and they don't make widgets. They have influence, but the real work is in the pivoting part, bringing human energy to the art of coordination. Human energy to the art of coordination. Well, what is a pivot? I can go this way, or I can go that way. This stays the same. This moves around it. Basketball. We learned that. Day one in basketball camp. How to pivot. Keep one foot solid on the ground and you move the other foot around it. Learn to pivot. Why? Because if somebody's standing here and you pivot, you're now facing there. Throw the ball over there, etc. So it enables you to continue forward progress. You need to be good at pivoting. All right. Well, I'm just riffing on what Seth wrote because it was pithy but wise. It's one of those ones. There's a small hole, but when you fall into it, it's quite large and deep. All right, hard to get out of. Okay, let's see if there's anything else. Jordan Peterson. Darren Hardy, where'd he go? Darren Hardy, how millions of high achievers are being quietly manipulated. Right. How are millions of high achievers being manipulated? Well, first of all, think advertising. Okay, advertising is designed to get you to do things you wouldn't normally do, or to make you feel good for doing something that you might not normally do. Fundamentally, advertising is directed at tribe level 3 people. We're going to learn about that next Monday. Stage 3 tribe people who say, I'm great and you're not. So advertising subtly says, okay, well, if you're great, if you are a player, this is what you need to have to show other people you're a player, because players have these things. They have these cars, they wear these clothes, they have these watches. Here's what players do. They have a certain type of phone, or they certainly don't have one of these kinds of phones, right? So if you want to be a player, here's what you need to do. And there is a trap being manipulated, and that is if we like the person telling the story, we tend to believe the story. If Tom Brady or Larry David is out there pitching cryptocurrency, we're likely to believe that they to do what they say, even though they have no expertise of cryptocurrency and they're just a paid person. That is how millions of high achievers are being quietly manipulated. They're getting influenced by the person who is delivering the message, not the message. And that's okay. Just need to know this is water. All right. see anything else. Let's look down at our prayer. This is week 2. Faith, trust, and living water. So our prayer is from Mark, or our contemplation is from Mark 5:36. Do not fear, only believe. Do not fear, only believe. Yeah, what do you have to worry about? Just believe in what Jesus said and do it. All right. Okay. Next. Let's see what's happening over here. Not a lot. Today, my everyday dose was infused with my minerals for my workout, my post-workout minerals, but no protein powder. Protein powder might have to go, or it might only get used with grape nuts, something like that. Today is delivery day, week number 3, delivering food to the homebound. And this is like day number 40 something in the government shutdown, the stalemate between the Republicans and the Democrats, where the Republicans will say the Democrats are holding the country hostage, that they want certain monies continue to be paid for projects that are wasteful and bloat and full of corruption. And the Democrats are basically saying we need to be humane. We need to pay for these programs. The Republicans are saying we can't afford to pay for these pork barrel things for people who are just taking advantage of the system. Okay, so we are here. What does that mean? Well, SNAP benefits have been cut off or greatly reduced. I don't know if some people are getting some money, all people are getting some money, but I'm pretty confident it's not all people are getting all money. Right. So, the food pantries, that's the places people go to get food, or my understanding is food banks are really the places where people have a lot of food, deliver food, and then they get distributed from the bank. Doesn't really matter, but the food pantries are getting pressed. And that's because the real abuse with SNAP is the food is not, you get almost $300, and the money isn't going for staple food mostly. It's going for processed, packaged food, easy food. So people are getting free food. And now all of a sudden, no more free food. So that means more people are going to more food pantries to get food. And the food that's in the food pantries is what? More of staple type food. Rice, beans, things like that. So, okay. And thus, there we have it. What else we got here? Oh, okay. 14 minutes in. Let's talk now about week 2. Week 2, inside my school-sized kingdom. This is the neuroscience part. So week 1 is, what are we doing? What is the whole point of this? We tell you what we're going to tell you and why it is and why it matters. What it is and why it matters. So what it is who we are and why we behave the way we do. The idea being, if we know that, we can dial in, we can be the person we need to be right now. We can be our most effective self right now if we know why we behave the way we do. So that's week 1. And then we have the interspersing of other things. Week 2 is, what is the neuroscience? What is the actual neuroscience? So if I know who am I? If I answer the question, who am I from a neuroscience perspective, we're going to look at that. Week 3 is, okay, now that I know how my brain works and why I act the way I do, I can apply that to other people. I can get clues from those people of who they are and why they behave the way they do. That way I can attract people to help me on my original mission, my adventure, the adventure of life. I can attract other people to help me on my adventure. And then once I know how to attract people, week 4 is, okay, now that I know how my brain, I know what I'm doing, I know how my brain works, I've got people to help me. How do I not screw the pooch? How do I actually do it and keep moving forward? Because we tend to self-sabotage, and other people's, their adventure gets in the way of ours. So it's like on a boat where somebody takes our wind, or they put a wake in front of us that kind of takes us off course. How do we get back on course? How do we stay on course? How do we keep moving forward and not lose the initiative? Or today, how do we pivot? Okay, I can't go that way. Where do I go next? And in life, we call that what? Resiliency. How do I remain resilient? I'm going to keep moving forward. Oops, there's a wall in front of me. Can I go around the wall? Can I go over the wall? Can I go under the wall? Can I go through the wall? If I can't, now I have to pivot and find some other thing, because I can't go that way. It's just that simple. But I'm always guided by my North Star out there. That's the direction I need to go. Now, if I have to backtrack, I still have my sights on the future, on the North Star. That's where I need to go. So I might do this, but eventually I'm still trying to get over here. I keep pivoting all the way down. Pretty cool. So this week we're going to learn about that. Today we learned about neurons, or as Yuval Harari says, neurons, a particular type of cell in our brain that runs on electricity, but it's activated, or it relies upon different types of chemicals. So it's an electrochemical cell, and the theory, the hypothesis is that chains of neurons contain our lived past, memories, anticipated future, our personality, our ability to simulate. All of the stuff of who we are is contained in our neurons, in chains. So, a million neurons all synchronized, acting a certain way, creates a memory, a ability to simulate, whatever, all of these things. Why do we believe that's true? This should be, hornbook, as they say in law school. This should be hornbook for most people. Well, we think it's true. We believe that's true, that those things are stored in our brain, because if we damage our brain, they go away. If we have a Dr. Amen traumatic brain injury, alcohol, drugs, something growing on our brain, or a disease in our brain, that the stuff we had, the memories, the ability to simulate, blah, 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 all of those things change. They're impacted. But if we drive a nail through our hand, none of those things change. If we drive a nail through our head, they do change. If we break a blood vessel in our brain and have a stroke, one side of our body could become paralyzed. If we have a broken blood vessel in our hand, we get a bruise. So, good reason to believe those are in the brain. Where does it lead? Manipulating memories, perhaps? Good way to end. With that, we'll say Shivas and Shalom. Once again, Scotch